Welcome back. Channel 914 podcast. I'm your host, Rail Allen. And as always, I'd just like to start off by thanking everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for liking last week's episode. Continue to like, subscribe, comment. But as you can see, I am not alone today.
Man, that was a dope intro. I like all the crowd appeal. Man.
You like that?
Yeah,
that's a nice little touch. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Just press the button and it just happens. Technology is amazing. But yeah, man, I have guests, very illustrious guest, if I may say so myself. Outside of being two just good brothers, they're also real estate moguls, television stars, philanthropists, MPHS alumni, Mighty Mustangs.
That's right.
And now, y'all have the distinction of being the first guest on the Channel 914 podcast.
Man, it's a blessing, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Introducing everybody, Anton and Anthony Downing, better known as the Downing brothers. I'm going to give y'all one more. One more round of applause. So, first and foremost, congratulations, brother, on your nuptials.
Man, I appreciate it, yo.
You guys show the ring?
We ready.
Yeah, man. That was. I saw the pictures, man. Look, you look happy, man. You look really happy, bro. You look really happy. So man, I just wanted to say,
man, I appreciate it. I was believe that.
No, he is. I mean, what other man goes like this?
Right. Right. I wasn't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you excited, bro. It's all good. Yeah. So actually, what I saw that you really got married last year, and you just had the ceremony.
Right. So, went to the courthouse during the pandemic. You know, that's because it's the pandemic. You know.
So y'all just didn't want to wait, huh? Y'all just said we're just gonna get married.
Not at all.
Hey, man, when you know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because a lot of people, because we're on TV, don't realize that we still firefighters. And I realize every time we go to work, I don't know if I'm gonna come back, and I couldn't leave her out there with no pension, no life insurance. You know, that's what happens. So I got to put her on the books, man, because that's what it is.
Hey, that's real. Hey, man. Well, congratulations again, brother. Mm-hmm. So you guys were just at the BET Awards, right?
That's right.
I saw y'all out there, man. I saw y'all had the linen suits on.
Oh, yeah.
Looking cleaner than the Board of Health.
Man.
You know? So just tell how was that experience, man? What was that like?
Yeah, it was great. Look. This is the thing. I wore a double-breasted thinking like, man, I'm going to be hot as hell, but at least I will be very fashionable.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that we thought about getting invited, first of all, we were invited to the BET Awards, right?
Right.
Like I always told myself that, we wouldn't just pull up or buy tickets or whatever it is to come. We want to be invited and acknowledged and wanted, you know what I'm saying? And something like that, because that means that we had put the work in to be there. Right. And then when we chose the outfits, it was like, okay, wait, when you're in a room full of stars, like, how do you stand out? You know what I'm saying? So that's why we came with the fresh colors, with the bright colors.
Yeah.
But and also the coordination, because obviously we're here, because we're twins and people, and that's our leg into the industry.
Right.
And so we played on that also.
Yeah, man. Well, y'all pulled it off. Now, y'all are in the room with all these stars. Was there anybody that you saw there y'all were kind of starstruck, like you couldn't really believe that you were in the same room with them?
I don't know. Starstruck isn't something that I feel like when I see. I feel more inspired. I feel more like, okay, I'm a step closer to my dreams. Okay. So when I saw Diddy and I saw his sons and his family there, his mom was there, right, and we walked past
Justin,
right. You know what I'm saying? Mary J. Blige, walk right past her. Right. The cast from all the BET shows. You name a BET show, they had the entire cast right there, and we're only like 3-4 rows from them. And so, for me, it wasn't one particular star. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that, man, we're in the building with everyone who's actually doing this. And I was like, and you see how real it is. And then when they're performing on stage, like, I don't need to look on the teleprompter. I'm like, I can see them. I can reach out.
Right,
I'm extending my hand right now. So it's just like, man, things just are that much more real. And it's surreal that we even have these opportunities that I could turn the TV on and I can see myself on TV. It's just like crazy.
I would also say that, while we're, in line and then we got pulled out of line to get moved to the front, which is, it always feels weird when that happens because, you know, I'm from the South Side. I didn't think I was going to just get pulled to, but when we saw from Blackish, what's her name? Marsai. Yeah, we saw Marsai and her contingency, and they were all like about to get in right behind us. And I'm thinking to myself, man, they seem just like us. It didn't seem it
didn't seem out of place.
Right. It didn't seem as magical once everybody next to each other.
They're just regular people.
Yeah, right. And I can see her frustration with how long she had to wait, just like we did.
right.
Because we were right all together. She's literally this close to me. Mm-hmm. This is my thing about that experience at BET Awards. I feel like you see everyone is just real people.
Right.
Who have teams around them, who are putting in the work, who have that work ethic, that are on the grind, and took the same steps or similar steps to what we're doing right now. And that realization is what is the most amazing thing about that experience. Mm-hmm. And then also seeing, you know, when I saw Idris Elba, like when he came out with Will Packer on stage and to present to do the nomination, and they had their little story and they're back and forth. I'm like, I can see us doing the same thing, presenting an award together up on stage, going back and forth, riffing like that.
Short story about Will Packer, though.
Okay. So, I'm here for the short stories.
So after my wedding, you know, like the next day, we flew to Exuma, which is also in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Just like 70 miles southeast.
Okay.
We get there, and the guys that are like that hand out the towels by the pool, when they realize, you know, that, I mean, I'm Bahamian, but they also know I'm American too.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh man, have you seen Will Packer? He fly here all the time." You know, he said like that, and I was like, "Man, I'm thinking, no, I've never met Will Packer before."
right.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, it was one of those things where you realize certain islands in the Bahamas, a lot of celebrities like have second homes, just randomly, and this island only has like 7,000-8,000 people on it.
Yeah, you know who always talks about the Bahamas, who I believe is also Bahamian? Lil Duval.
Yeah.
He's always talking about. He's actually like just him posting pictures and talking about how clear the water is.
That water,
you got to see it for
yourself.
yourself.
It's clear, 30 feet deep, clear.
Yeah, I've never been to the Bahamas, but that's actually like on my list now. Like, yo, I got to get out there.
No, for sure. And you know, our mother, you know, she comes up in all these interviews that we have. Mm-hmm. Our mother is the reason why, you know, we're building properties in the Bahamas right now. Like, we have new construction down there.
Yeah, we have a development going.
The fact that we even started down this path in real estate is because our mother was really adamant that, oh, you got your first job? Okay, well, you got to own property. You're not a real man until you own property. You're not a real man until you own property.
Until you own the floors below your feet.
So it was like this whole ego thing. Right. She knew what to do in order to motivate me. Because don't tell me I'm not a real man, right?
Right. So Mama always know what buttons to push.
Right. You already know.
So, you know, we start down this path, but then our whole life, though, we went down there almost every single year to the Bahamas because she wanted to make sure we knew our family and knew where our property was and knew where everything is. And so for us to finally be in a position to be able to build new construction on this vacant property, you know what I'm saying? That's like the dream come true, the full circle moment.
So I was going to ask you about that because I read, I think it was, y'all did an interview in Blavity in 2019 where you talked about that. Mm-hmm. You were saying like your mother always talked about that property that you need to develop down there in the Bahamas that you guys had.
Yeah.
So it's just like now that you guys are actually doing that, like how surreal is it? Like is that kind of like one of those like that carrot that you had dangling in front of you and now you finally got it?
Oh man, for real. I was like, we're not. You know, a lot of people they take that first TV check, go buy a Lamborghini or something like that.
Right.
We already
Iced out chains.
We're gonna take all that TV money, commercial money, and start building our development.
Yeah.
And I would say this too. It makes me think about all the black folks around here who have family reunions in Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, be having 100 acres of land, and 100 people own it at the same time. Why? Because your grandfather, your great grandparents never developed their land, and now too many people own it at the same time to do anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, man, we got to develop all of this while it's just a small amount of us.
Right. Yeah.
Estate planning and things of that nature. Like that's why financial literacy is like a big part of our brand, right?
Yeah.
Because we've seen how important home ownership was on both sides of our family. On our father's side of the family, our father, our grandfather, our great grandfather, all owned property.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about in Jim Crow, Mississippi. Our great grandfather owned 30 acres, had his own farm, owned a car during Jim Crow, Mississippi.
Okay.
I'm sure he bought his own mule.
Oh, yeah. They would hang you for stuff like that in Mississippi back then.
But that's part of our lineage. We're fortunate to be a black family that on both sides of our family, you go on our mother's side, same thing goes back 3 generations of ownership. And so this expectation of ownership, of education, and even of estate planning, right? Having a will, having a trust. And actually a trust I think is the most important thing. Like a will is okay, but a trust means you're really doing something.
Right.
And so life insurance, meaning that when I pass away, I don't leave you with debt.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, at least be able
not a
to bury me.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
To bury me, but I've actually left you with $1 million, $2 million, $3 million.
We're not talking about burial. You know how people get those burial policies for $10,000 and it's just barely enough for the funeral.
Right.
No, we need that million.
Yeah.
Millions plural. So now that the more we've accomplished, the more we have to learn so that we can be a great example. Because I mean, heaven forbid that something happens to either one of us, and then stories come out that we don't have our stuff together.
Right. I knew they was lying.
You know how Chadwick Boseman he went viral because he didn't leave a will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That can't be our testimony.
Yeah. No, I have some experience with that. Not in knowing the importance of having a will, because you just never know. You know what I'm saying? So I was just happy, because my brother passed a few years ago. Yeah. And unfortunately, unexpectedly, but he had his business and his affairs in order, so his wife and his kid are fine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely know the importance of having that type of stuff together. You know what I'm saying? I got my beneficiaries lined up and all that with my 401k and that. So yeah.
Super important.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So no, yeah, that's and there's a lot of stuff like that just little small steps that you can take to just make sure that the people around you are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really important. And that's a really good thing that I see y'all do. Y'all don't just like try to keep the game for yourselves. Y'all don't just try to keep the knowledge, man. Y'all like to spread that around. So just why is that important for y'all, man?
I think to myself, like, who am I going to kick it with if I'm the only person that's wealthy? If I'm the only person that has a business that owns real estate, if I'm the only one that has a passport and they can travel, like if you're the only one in your network that has their life together, who are you supposed to kick it with as you continue to level up? So I want people in my network to level up. These are just conversation. When I'm out, if we're out drinking,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And we just did something, like we just did this deal, or we just bought this property, or I just changed the beneficiaries on my life insurance.
Right.
Whatever it is, these are conversations I'm having while we drinking, not just about who the Bulls just signed. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, even though that's important too. And we can talk about all of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can talk about that, but you got to have your business in order. You know what I'm saying? Especially now with us getting up there. And, I'm 40.
Right.
We 40, y'all. We all 40.
Oh yeah, we all 40. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So it's definitely more important now. We not young. We ain't old. Yeah. We not old, but we definitely not young. My knees tell me every day I ain't young. Yeah. Hey man, so you guys were just at Essence Festival too, right?
Yeah, man. So look, we
took one day in Chicago.
We came back for one day. This is it. We get to LA on Friday. We're there Friday, Saturday, and then the BET Awards is on Sunday. We fly back on Monday night. We make it back Monday night. Go to sleep. I go to the firehouse. For 24 hours because I'm still an active duty Chicago firefighter. Right. And then the following morning, I get off duty, go back and we go to O'Hare, get on a flight, and we're on our way to Essence Festival, and we were invited to participate. So talk about blessings and things that we're trying to get used to.
Right.
people paying for our flights in our hotel and putting us in really nice places.
I know, man.
Really nice hotel. Really nice.
Slight flex.
Yeah.
Hey, man, shoot. We've been blessed for real.
Hey, man.
God is good. God is good.
Yes, sir, man. So I saw y'all were, there was a documentary from our perspective about education in the Black community.
Right.
Big
so
time.
were you guys involved in that project, or were you guys just there like hosting? Like what was going on with that?
No, so we weren't involved in the project.
Okay.
But what they wanted us to do was promote the project.
Okay, it was promotion.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we also, on the influencer panel, it was about how to get influencers to effectively promote causes like this, like, educational choices and funding for Black education.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we get influencers to actually, one, buy into something like this that's less sexy, right? Because education is not really that sexy. Yeah. And then, to participate and actually promote this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me, because it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. If you have kids, it's going to immediately be like, oh, what neighborhood am I going to live in? Yeah. So that they have a good education. Or we figure out how to make this school where we're at the best school, in the city. Yeah.
And a lot of that, especially when you come to the city, the CPS, and even the surrounding suburbs, man, property taxes determines. Right. So the wealth of where you live determines your education in a sense.
Right. And then also paying attention to, like, for instance, where we're from on the South Side, most Black people identify as either a Democrat or an independent that leans liberal. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to what the conservatives are doing and what they're lobbying for, what they're spending their money on in order to change legislation, we have to pay attention to what they're doing, because what I look at is, if they get what they want and we don't understand how it works, then we don't get to take advantage of it. And there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. If they're trying to get vouchers, if they're trying to get the funding to work a certain way to funnel to their community, we have to figure out what they're doing, how it works, so that we can do the same thing for our community.
I'll give
you a good example. Like, Walter Payton is a school called Walter Payton. Right. It's like, is it even 20% Black?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I know that.
I don't even think.
I know that's like one, if not the top, one of the top high schools.
Selective enrollment high school.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And one of the best schools in the state.
Yeah.
Right.
That happened right under our noses, because you would just think, oh, since it's named after him, that Black students are going to go there.
Right.
But if you're a Black family and you don't know how to navigate the selective enrollment process, prepare your children from pre-K to be in a pipeline of being prepared to pass these tests, to know when the testing is, to know where to even sign up for the test. Like, do you know the process to take advantage of the best school in the state?
So I know a lot of people that have personally had to deal with that process. Fortunately, I haven't had to go through that. My kid is in a good school district, and we don't have to worry about the selective enrollment. I'm really blessed by that. But I've seen people try to navigate that process, right? And it does seem like, in a way, like a weeding out, because not only like the parents have to be really involved, and it just, in a sense, it kind of like shows up some of the flaws in the educational system in general, because you have to go through so much just to be able to get your child a good education. Like, you can't just like, you're not entitled to this as a human being, as a person. Like, your parents pay taxes, in this state, in this city, in this county. But even with doing all of that, you're still not entitled to a good education. You got to go out there and work for it.
You're not entitled in the United States of America in 2022. You are not entitled to a great education for your child. You're not entitled to health care. You're not entitled to anything that you would think, access to fresh fruit and vegetables and. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, so, this goes on and on.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
So if you're not paying attention to process, if you're not paying attention to what some people call the enemy is doing, then you can't go out and take advantage of it. Because if the opposing forces control legislation, then it behooves you to understand what they're doing so you can take advantage of it. You can't just throw your hands up and say, "Oh, we lost." Because, I mean, if you live in a quote unquote red state and they're passing laws that you don't agree with, you have to figure out how to make them laws work for you.
That's real. Yeah. No, that's 100%, 100%. Yeah, man. I mean, that's so we could definitely go down another rabbit hole.
That's a rabbit hole also.
Really, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, but you guys are bona fide television stars now.
Man, you know what? It's well, it feels like that when you're from Chicago. It does. You know what I'm saying? But we also know that there's levels to everything, and we're at the beginning of this journey. But we're surrounded. We have such a great legal team. We have a bunch of people that advocate for us, that look for opportunities for us, and we know that we're just a step away from being what I'm saying a bona fide star. Like I think that we could be bona fide. What do they call it? A-list.
Oh yeah,
A-list
instead of being D-list.
Hey man, y'all on the list. I ain't even on. I ain't even no fucking list. But yeah, but so the first show you guys did was Double Down. That was in 2019, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
that was on HGTV.
Yeah. So before we get into that, no, actually we're gonna stay with that, right? Okay. So I read in the article when you guys first got into real estate, right? That one of the biggest challenges you had were finding reliable contractors. Right. So you had to navigate through that, right? So I imagine as you transition into going into television, and you guys did the pilot, right? There were some similar pitfalls that you guys didn't anticipate.
Yeah.
In going. So how was that transition? And did your knowledge in real estate and things you were doing there, did that help you at all?
I mean, and what you realize with contractors is that they don't look at TV versus, private industry any differently. Like, you still have to go check to see if they're on schedule. You still have to, everything is the same, basically. Yeah. You would think that if their work is going to be on TV, they will do the best they can on time. Son. And yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't necessarily get better just because you're more well known or have more money. Like, you have to check after your contract. It doesn't get. People think, it's going to get easier. No, it just means that you're spending more money on a bigger project, which means you have to have more focus on auditing what they're doing. You have to be like checking daily or having your project manager who's reporting to you to tell you, this is exactly happening the way you want it to. Because they will hide back behind literally doing exactly what you said. Even if they know there's a better way or a more efficient way to do something, they will say, you asked me to do it this way, and so I did it that way, even though they knew that they were going to run into a wall and that the door wasn't going to open.
And then you got to
be like, how?
And then you got to pay extra for them to go back and fix it.
And you got to, yes.
Right. Yeah. But this is what you said.
But this is what you said. And I mean, that even happened during that filming where where the bloopers, the things that went wrong in the episode literally went wrong. We didn't have to manufacture a problem.
Oh, that was real.
Everything that happened really happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, I mean, not dope during the time.
No, it's not.
No, not at all. Actually, when you
but it's just like cool to see, like, oh no, that was actually real. That really happened.
Yeah, and then they will blame you and say, you're the one who told us to do it this way. I like, educate us, please. Tell us when we don't know what we're talking about.
So just a quick question. So what made you guys make that transition? Like, what inspired you to go just from doing the real estate to like, okay, now we're gonna try to do reality TV?
Dude, we went to U of I in Champaign,
right?
And so you meet a whole bunch of people there, and Troy Pryor was one of those people.
Okay.
And one day he calls. Did he call me or did he call you?
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's that many years ago now. But he called and said, "Hey, do you all have a basement that you haven't finished yet? I want to do a torture scene for this movie, and I want to bring the director over." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, we ain't worked on these basements on this 6-unit building yet. Come bring them on by the 6-unit." So they come over, they look around. I don't even remember what the director looks like now because, but I remember Troy Pryor though, because right when he was getting ready to leave, he turned around to the two of us. He said, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing this on HGTV?
Like the Property Brothers?" And
we were looking at him like, "Nah, man, this is a side hustle. We firefighters. We thought this was a side hustle." Yeah. He proved it. He proved us wrong immediately. He called one of his. He's an alpha. Okay. He called one of his frat brothers on the phone. Put on speakerphone right there so we couldn't avoid the whole conversation. And he was like, you gonna be on TV, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah, it was like that. But even in that moment, it's not like it happened overnight. Look,
Right.
It took us 9 months or 9 or 10 months from that phone call to us actually start our first day of filming.
Okay.
It was a long process where we almost forgot that they were even working on considering us or getting us on there, this, that, and the other. So it's a lot of patience that was required. But no, we didn't pursue this. And even with Backyard Bar Wars, we didn't pursue Backyard Bar Wars either. Backyard Bar Wars, they found us. Casting found us because we continued to produce our own content while we were waiting for the next show to come along.
All right.
And there was no guarantee that there was ever going to be another show. It was just that we did our podcast. We do creative content on our social media, on Instagram, so on and so forth. And then they found us.
It's so coincidental. We were flying back from LA. This is not even
on
no
our
Hollywood.
birthday.
This is not no Hollywood type of thing.
On our birthday.
We were just going to LA to visit our brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like he said, on our birthday, we landed at O'Hare. And then we both getting chiming out, ching, 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 text messages. Hey, could you give me a call? I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, number we didn't even recognize.
Didn't recognize it, but he was like, all right, let's call this dude back. And it just escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
For the second show, for Backyard Bar Wars.
Nice.
And it was just, and so, for some people, you have to intentionally pursue and audition and so on and so forth. And then for other people, our intention wasn't to necessarily like audition for anything. Our intention was to just continue to create our brand so that people understood who we were and that we were available. And this is what we stand for. This is what we care about. This is our character. And that's what we did. And then they found us and felt like, okay, these two black guys from the South Side are safe and they know what they're doing. And then boom, we'll give them the opportunity.
Right. So, our podcast, Homecoming with the Downing Brothers,
right,
is an extension of that to create our brand around us.
Which is nice. I watched a few episodes of that, man. There's some good info in there. And the production value is pretty good too, man. The intro.
Yeah.
So was that so I saw one of the guys, was that Asa?
On our intro?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
You know how long it took us to do that though? Because if you go to our old episodes, we were begging him from the beginning to do that.
Right.
He didn't do that until we were 2 years in.
So that's what I was going to ask. That's why I say it was on some of them because it was like one of them, the intro was different. Now I saw one of them, I was like, oh, okay, no.
It was like the second season when he finally.
And that's your brother. You still.
Right, yeah. Because when it's your brother, they don't act like, oh, yeah, these are TV personalities. He's like, no, this is my older brother.
Yeah.
I'll get at him.
Whenever we get at him.
That's hilarious.
Thanks, Asa.
Yeah, so and I checked out the Backyard Bar Wars, man. I ain't watched the whole season, man, but I watched a few episodes, and I was actually, I typically don't watch shows like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I actually was pretty entertained, man. Like no lie.
it.
Hey, the slow motion walk up when they introduce y'all.
Anthony Anton.
Very dramatic.
We were happy with it too when we first saw it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know it was gonna go like that.
It was a lot of fun, man.
I was a little underwhelmed by the weed stash in the bar that Buddy had in the first episode. I definitely expected more. It was also hilarious how anytime anything unsavory came around, you were immediately like, no, I'm not really a part of that. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm like, yeah, no, that's him. That's real. Yeah, man, but
you know what? Plot twist, though. We're out there filming for 5 months. Mm-hmm. When by the time July arrived and we were wrapping up the last episode 5 months in, we went back over to go visit because he had a little backyard party, and we were like, oh yeah, let's go over there and kick it at the bar. He built this bar. Let's go over there and kick it. When I say that he had 6 foot tall marijuana plants,
he had 27 of them.
Oh,
27, bro.
27.
Yeah,
like,
he has a license.
Tall.
Yeah, I know. He said he had a grow license.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were underwhelmed because he had just planted them. We came back 5 months later. These things were bigger than us.
Yeah. For real.
Well, I stand corrected. So it's funny that you mentioned that you went back because I was gonna I had a thought about. So y'all know what happened with Pimp My Ride?
Yeah.
Well, like all the cars, like after they were done, basically it didn't work. Like, I read one article, like somebody said that they put all the stuff in the car but didn't adjust the suspension. So anytime they would hit a bump, the car would like bottom out, and then having to replace their engine like a month later. So like none of the bars exploded or anything like that.
Man. And we went back. We went back during
a couple of the bars.
They would invite us back. This is the thing. We got to be really good friends with the owners of the homes that we were building these bars in, and they would invite us back. And some of them invited us back, and we never made it back. But you know, they're like, well, whenever you're in LA, come on through. They were happy with their bar. Trust me.
Yeah, because I saw some of them were like, because I've stayed in Studio City, and I've stayed in that area because you know, from traveling for work and whatnot. And that Renaissance Hotel, I think it closed during the pandemic. Okay. But that hotel is really, I just got in flashbacks. But anyway, so I know that area, man. So I know those houses are pretty nice and are not, you know, not cheap.
No.
So anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Houses be at least $1.2 million.
Right. Yeah, that's
for a 3-bedroom.
And that's the average. This is the thing I learned. We did 20 homes across 10 episodes. 20 homes.
Across all LA County.
We were in at least a dozen or more neighborhoods because all the homes weren't necessarily right in the same neighborhood. Right. Like the first episode, they were on the same block. But in the rest of the episodes, sometimes they would be in neighboring neighborhoods.
Okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that I noticed across that whole spectrum is that out of the 20 homes, I would say more than half of them were the people inherited the home,
right,
from a parent or grandparent, meaning they did not pay for the home. They literally inherited the home, or they bought it from their parent for less than half of the value of the home to give them a head start. That's generational wealth. That's a transfer of wealth that we don't see in the Black community. That I, you know, because I just out of curiosity, I would ask them, man, how much did it cost for this? Oh yeah, well, you know, I inherited the house from my grandfather, or I bought the house from my parents. You know,
life hack.
It is, it is, and I was like, okay, we got to make sure that happens for our kids.
Same.
And we got to make it the norm for our community.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely something we talk about. I mean, and there are obviously things intentionally put in place when you talk about like redlining and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so it's not just ignorance, but that is something that lacks. And now that we know about those things, it is up to us to change that and to do these things. And now that we know that, and to have guys like you that are out there educating people and showing people a different way, and that's why I think you guys are really important outside of building badass bars for people in their backyards, man. But to actually, like, you know, I see like a lot of pop-ups and stuff that you guys do. We like you said, you know, it's just for free. You're not charging people to come in. You know what I'm saying? Just come in, listen. This is what we did. This may work for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
people need to know.
And that's another thing, an idea that comes to me, and hopefully that you'll be participating in at some point. Brand partnerships are so important. Yeah. Because when Target or AT&T or Guarantee Rate or Zenny or whoever sponsors your event and they cut you a check so that you can make your product available to a community for free, it benefits you personally because you got a check. It benefits your community because now they get to learn something that could, you know, push us all forward. And then it's also making that corporation actually give back instead of just taking.
Facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
That's real. And so you guys had a partnership, or is that partnership with Guarantee Rate still active?
It's not active, but we still got friends over there.
Okay. I got because I saw y'all got a chance. Y'all lived out one of my childhood dreams, man, which I still plan on doing. Y'all got the chance throughout the first pitch.
The White Sox
game. How was that, man?
Dude, it was crazy, man. Cause look, one of my homies, one of our homies, Shinadu.
Oh, Shinadu.
So he sent me a photo like a couple years ago. He found this photo of all of us
in Little League.
We played for Jackie Robinson West. We were all in the same Little League team.
We were the Oakdale White Sox.
Yeah, Oakdale Park on 95th, right before you defend ends.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right there.
So when we were kids, we was all on the Little League team together. And I remember too, we played in a championship game against the Abbott Park Indians.
Okay.
And you know who was on that team?
Who?
You remember Kevin Holmes?
Kevo?
Yeah.
He's an author. I got his book right there.
No.
Kevin Cottrell, Kevin Holmes.
Kevin.
That's right. He's a news anchor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I got my Kevins mixed up. My bad. Both Kevins are doing very well.
Yeah, they are
very
though.
well.
Both of them.
Yeah, but Kevin Holmes, because we graduated the same year.
Right.
It's crazy hearing him with his news anchor voice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We'll continue.
So he sends me that Little League picture, and we had the White Sox uniforms on, and we're 11, 12 years old, and so it really I remember being a kid playing baseball, thinking like, man, it would be great if I could play for the White Sox.
Then that's when we was like, hey, White Sox, we need 11 and 12. Those are our numbers. So going back to Little League. And they did it. They put our names on the back of the jerseys, gave us the numbers that we wanted, just like that.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. The closest I ever got, my cousin sang the national anthem when I was a kid, so I was just there with him. I didn't actually, you know what I'm saying? But one day.
Hey, man, you got a lot of living to do.
Oh, yeah, a whole lot of living to do. So you guys have mentioned a couple of times in this interview about you guys are still active firemen.
Yeah.
So can you just elaborate a little bit more on what it's like trying to balance all this stuff that you guys are doing while still basically having a day job? How does that work?
Shoot, balancing the social aspect, the day. Look at his face, no beard.
Yeah, I had to shave for the final.
Luckily for me, all through our travels to New Orleans and to Hollywood and all, I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. I got another week and a half of vacation. It's great. But I'm going to have to eventually cut my beard off because the fire department doesn't allow beards.
But the flexibility of the schedule, right? So, I don't think what we've done in the last 4 years would be possible if we weren't firefighters, right? We got great schedule, great pay, great benefits, and I can get a couple of guys to work for me, and then boom, I'm off for a couple of weeks, and now I'm in Hollywood filming this show. And then I get to come back, work my schedule, pay these guys back, and it works. I can continue to make it work. And I'll keep on doing that until we're doing 2 or 3 TV shows at the same time, and we can no longer do it.
Right. So eventually, I know that's the goal. So you don't
No, that's the goal.
Quite literally, the goal for the next 24 months.
And the conversations and the meetings that we're having. And this is the other thing too, for anybody who's watching this and you're trying to get into TV or radio entertainment, going to these conferences, going to the going to the BET Awards, but going to Essence. Essence is major. Right. You need to go to Essence because every network has these VIP events, and you get your name on the list. I don't care how you figure it out. And then they have the free events where they have these panel discussions, and then your favorite star or producer or director, and that's who you really want to talk to. Producers, directors, and casting, and so on and so forth. Right. And they're at these events and programs doing panel discussions. You need to be at Essence so that you can meet these people, and you got to be prepared. Have your electronic press kit together. Have your website completed. Have a highlight reel, all that you can instantly text to somebody as soon as you get their phone number, boom, you can text it to them, or whatever it is.
All of it is part of your elevator pitch. 90 seconds. What can you say in 90 seconds?
And be prepared for your opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they always say luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
And man, we've been lucky as hell. And this Essence we just came out of, everything I just told you, literally just happened for us. Our foot was already in the game. We're already on TV. You can go find us. Right. But we met producers and directors and got their information, and now we'll see the fruits of that come out in the next 6 months, years, so on and so forth. But you got to get out there and meet these people. You can't do it sitting on the couch. You got to get out there.
Yeah, nah, definitely can't. So one little weird tidbit that I found out while I was researching.
Okay.
I feel like he's about to come for us right now. It feels like this coming.
So, no, it really doesn't have anything to do with y'all, though, honestly.
Okay. Right.
Did y'all know it was another set of Downing twins on Instagram?
Really?
No.
Y'all didn't know that?
No.
Well, let me show you.
Show us.
He's about to.
There we are. The Downing twins. Elisa and Laura Downing. Identical twins, dancers, actors, singers.
Oh, why they got those
Where
big
are they
things
from
on their
and what
head?
they got on their head?
Yeah, the smiley faces are really throwing me off. But yeah, no, I don't. It doesn't say where they're from. But I just came across, like I was Googling, and I was just like.
So just put in the Downing.
Yeah, so you guys are the
profile.
Yeah, so you guys are the Downing brothers.
Right.
So they are the Downing twins. Which you couldn't be more not alike. Yeah. You are two black men. Right. Those are two white women.
Right.
And dancers, and I don't even know. I've never even seen y'all dance. I don't even know that. You know what I'm saying?
We got a couple of posts of us dancing, though. Yeah. You know, you can just check us out on Instagram.
Hey, no shade, but you don't strike me as a very graceful dancer, bro. I've seen you play football. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I've seen your footwork, bro. I'm not a believer, man. You're gonna have to show me.
Hey, no, we do our thing though. We get jiggy out there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. And I think we were talking about this before. Like the other thing too is you can't be afraid to have a little corn in your process. You know what I'm saying? Like we get out there, and my thing is people are going to laugh, people are going to smile, people are going to join you, but you still got to do your thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and hey, it works for us.
Shoot, sometimes people laugh while they're giving us a big check. We be like, all right, I'm laughing with you. You know?
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Thank you for this check,
brother.
You know?
Last year, hey man, when we did these taxes this year, it was interesting doing these taxes, bro. We had problems that we was like, we need more of these problems.
Right.
Hey, good problems to have.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, man, is there anything on the horizon, anything y'all got coming up that y'all want to speak on that we haven't touched on already?
Man, I would just say, just stay tuned. Like, we can't reveal what we're working on right now just yet. But yes, there will be more TV. There's definitely going to be more real estate. You see the stuff that we're building in the Bahamas, but we have other projects that we're attached to.
When that comes out, man, it's gonna be everywhere.
So by the end of the year, by
the way, Orange Blossom Bowl between Jackson State and FAMU. Hey, that's gonna be in Miami Gardens. September 6th. Everybody watch that. We will be there for that.
Okay,
like on the ground.
Orange Blossom Bowl.
Yeah. HBCU Classic.
Okay.
HBCU Classic.
Okay.
Yep. And so
and J State. I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but like J State. Like that presence that they have now with Deion Sanders.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh yeah,
and it's a wave.
And it's so important. Now, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but we just bring this up, man. It's so important what Deion is doing down there.
Yes.
And you saw what happened because they got that number one recruit.
Yeah.
And all of these other big college coaches started like crying foul.
Right.
And Deion is like, why won't they come play for us? But for him to be down there, like he's taking it seriously. He's not down there as like, this is just an opportunity to film and to build my profile. Like, nah, he's really down there building up that program.
You know what? I don't think that's even giving him enough credit. He's building a culture for HBCUs totality.
And that was my point because, there was a point in time where we mentioned Walter Payton. Walter Payton went to Jackson State. It was a point in time like Jerry Rice went to Mississippi Valley State. Right. You know what I'm saying? Deacon Jones went to Mississippi Valley State too, if I'm not. So it was a point in time where the best black players went to HBCUs because they had to. Because the larger white schools weren't recruiting them.
Right.
They wouldn't allow them to go there. But then once they realized that, hey, these are better athletes, you know what I'm saying? We need these. And now we're at the point where HBCUs don't get any of the top athletes. They get like kind of like not bottom of the barrel, but like mid-tier people the people that couldn't go to those larger PWIs. Right. So for him to go down there with not only for somebody with his name recognition, but also to be as dedicated and as serious about this cause, like we need somebody he's somebody that can actually shift culture. Yeah. And he's doing that.
And that's the thing. That's the reason why ourselves, a whole bunch of TV, movie personalities, rappers, everybody's about to be at the Orange Blossom Bowl in a way that they wouldn't have been 2 years ago.
Off the strength of Deion.
Yeah, off the strength of Deion.
Yeah.
And what I love about what's happening is, this is real strategic. He knew that players were going to start getting paid.
Absolutely.
Which would level the playing field. So that if they could get paid off their name, image, and likeness, that would level the playing field so that they wouldn't feel like they had to go to Ohio State or go to Clemson or go to Miami or whatever it is, because my family's already going to benefit from my name, image, and likeness. And then I can go to an HBCU where culturally I fit in immediately. Yeah. And then you got a Hall of Fame coach, you know what I'm saying, who's the best to ever do it at his particular position at corner.
Best to ever do it.
To ever do it.
Right.
But then you start to see like Eddie George, one of the best running backs ever.
Tennessee State.
He's at Tennessee State. Yeah. And so now what I want to see is that not only is Deion, but other Hall of Fame players in the NFL and the NBA start to coach at HBCUs. You got the NIL, leverage that to make it so that brands want to invest. Nike and the Adidas's of the world want to invest in these players at these HBCUs. It's a cultural wave. And then they can also feel the comfort of feeling like we belong here and not being the only black kid in a class, or having to be responsible for the weight of the world of when something happens in the world.
Yeah, then you got to be the black representative.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know what that's
when
like.
When somebody gets shot and killed. How did you feel about George Floyd and you in a classroom and you the only black person in the classroom? You know?
Right, yeah. And that's important, man, to be around people. Because I honestly, I'll be somewhat envious sometimes of people that went to HBCUs.
Me too.
Man, you know I feel the same way.
And when you see like the camaraderie and the things that they have, even to this day, how they still like, I graduated from Western Illinois, bro. I'm not going to homecoming. I feel no connection to that institution in that way, in the way that they do. You know, they actually feel a part of something of a larger whole. And so to see that being expanded into a field where like, we dominate athletics. So there's no reason why our institutions should not be benefiting directly from that domination, right? I mean, and you think about in the generations of how long, you think about, man, like, especially in the NBA, I mean, you got dudes that are like the sixth man that's making $20 million a year, you know, like, and it's so it's time where like the pooling of resources, you know what I'm saying, and getting that together. And I think Deion is really starting that. So I'm really proud, man. I really love to see what he's doing. So, and it's awesome that y'all gonna be there to like witness it firsthand. You said September 6th. I might have to see if I can. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why we're going to be there is because our frat brother Ashley Bell, he created a fintech, business called Ready Life.
Okay.
And what Ready Life does is it doesn't base your ability to get a mortgage or a car note on your credit score. They don't use credit scores at all. At Ready Life, you're going to actually submit
your rental history.
Your rental history. Okay. So your rental payments will be integrated into your profile. You paying your utility bills and your credit cards or whatever else that you have. You submit all your bills, and based on 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, you get a score directly with Ready Life to qualify you for a home or a car loan.
Oh, that's huge.
And Ashley Bell, by the way, member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
The way y'all just said that together in unison was just it was a little creepy, but
I mean, we out online right now. But his partner is Bernice King.
Okay.
The daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. So it's one of those things where they're trying to change things. Well, not trying. They are changing things for our community
to make it more available so that we can start to create that generational wealth and be more financially educated and have access so that we can actually do all these things. And then not only do they start Ready Life, then they buy the main sponsor role. So the Orange Blossom Bowl is going to be sponsored by Ready Life, and they have commercials that's going to be on ESPN during a game that has Jackson State and FAMU on ESPN. So when you talk about a wave of what's happening within our community,
I'm just proud to be part of it.
Right?
Yeah, man, that's beautiful.
You know?
Then let's add this. You see us, two black men having a renovation show where it's not the norm.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So when you see us go out there and we represent the way that we do, and we're always actively thinking, are we making our community proud? First of all, is our family going to be proud of us? And then the people that we personally know are going to be proud of us. And then is the community at large going to be proud to see the way that we talk, the type of work that we produce, and so on and so forth, so that we can be a part of that whole wave that's happening for black excellence.
Hey, man.
It's going down this year.
That's some real positive stuff, man. I think that's a good place, man, for us to wrap up. We've had a really good conversation, man. I really appreciate y'all coming through for doing this. Y'all didn't have to. So I definitely just want to make sure I express my utmost gratitude, man. You know what I'm saying, for y'all coming and blessing my platform the way that y'all have.
It's all good.
I couldn't picture a better first guest or guesses. Yeah, man. I couldn't have pictured a better way to start this off, man. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoy this. Be on the lookout for the Downing Brothers. So is there a season 2 of Backyard Bar Wars coming, or is that something y'all can talk?
That is pending.
It's still pending.
It's pending because we were actually supposed to shoot the season 2 in the first quarter, but we couldn't get. Chris couldn't get on the same schedule with us. So but. That's still available to us, and then we have some other things that are coming too.
Oh, and one last thing before we mentioned Asa early. Does he have any new music coming out, man? Y'all know anything?
Yeah. Hey, go to his
absolutely
Asa 2 times ASA the number 2 times. Go to his social media. Go to Instagram. He's got some heat that he's releasing, man. I'm excited, man, and
very much so.
And on top of that, it was a cool Big Brother moment seeing him at the BET Awards, right?
Yeah, I saw y'all. Yeah. I saw he was with y'all.
Yeah, because he's the rock star of the family.
Oh yeah, he looked like he'd be out there with the shades, man, looking too cool.
Yeah, he did Rolling Loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I've seen footage of him performing, bro, and he be having the crowd going crazy,
bro.
That whip, man. I mean, I'm talking about that was. I mean, it was really like. Everywhere you went for a minute, you heard that song. You know,
he did Rolling Loud at this while we were filming, so we couldn't go out there. So our older brother went with him.
Okay,
like, hey, somebody go with him, because it's gonna be some real rock star stuff going.
Hey, the Downing family is on fire. Our parents are trying to keep up with what we got going on. It's a special time, and I mean, like I said before, man, God is good. I'm real thankful, and we are just at the beginning, bro. When y'all see what's coming. He got us a song called Sex and Drugs. Wait till y'all hear this song, man.
Sex and Drugs. I can't wait to hear that. Talking about Rick James reincarnated, right?
And
something like that.
Another thing I can appreciate, and I know we're supposed to be wrapping up, is that, we're same mommy, daddy, but we have different paths.
Yeah.
But we're equally passionate about what we're doing. He's passionate about what he's doing. And we got some special things coming, man. So it's great. It's great to be a Downing brother.
It's real.
Can't wait to see everything that comes up on the horizon. Thank y'all once again, man. Thank y'all for watching. And we're tuning in next time, man. Episode 3 is officially a wrap. We out. Peace.